It's happening. Officials are demanding proof of life from Mitch McConnell. They're finally doing what so obviously needs to be done. Let me catch you up. We have been covering this for weeks now, and it's been a very simple question. Where is Mitch McConnell? Senator Mitch McConnell is still a sitting U.S. Senator. He holds one of 100 seats in the Senate. He's one of the most powerful people in the country. He chairs the key appropriations subcommittee, and he has now been hospitalized for nearly a month while the public has gotten no meaningful information beyond he's recovering, he's working with staff, and over the last 48 hours, partially because of my reporting, a bunch of people have come out and said, I spoke to him for 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And this just isn't enough. And we now finally have someone in elected office, of an important person to Mitch McConnell, saying we need proof of life. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who's been on this show, I've been on his show, he's a good guy, straight shooter. Andy Beshear has now demanded that Mitch McConnell provide an update on his condition. He put out the following letter. Dear Senator McConnell, over the last several weeks, Kentuckians have grown increasingly concerned about the current state of your health and well-being and ability to hold office in the United States Senate. As governor, I request that you fully update Kentuckians regarding the current status of your health. As public office holders, we have made a commitment to our constituents to do our best to represent them and to always be transparent. I believe this requires clear communication about one's ability to serve. We wish you a safe and speedy recovery. Sincerely, Governor Andy Beshear. The reality right now is that we do not know whether he is alive, and we do not know whether he is, some have used the phrase on life support, some have used the phrase brain dead, and some have used the phrase unconscious. We have a source that communicated to us that Mitch McConnell has been unconscious since he went to the hospital. One of the most powerful legislative bodies in the world is functioning with a member who has effectively disappeared from public view. Republicans hold a small majority in the Senate. Every single one of these votes matters. The Defense Appropriations Subcommittee that McConnell chairs is extraordinarily important. The absence of Mitch McConnell could affect nominations and legislation and funding votes. So this is not a private citizen taking medical leave from work. This is a constitutional office. Millions of Kentuckians have two senators representing them, and one of them's been missing for almost a month. Now, here's where the story, I think, gets even more consequential. If Mitch McConnell resigns, and if he's unconscious, he can't resign, right? If he resigns, or if it is determined he's no longer able to serve or whatever happens, the process for replacing him is kind of a mess because Kentucky Republicans changed the law to prevent Democratic Governor Andy Beshear from appointing a temporary replacement for a senator. And instead, the law says you have to have a special election. But there's a bunch of legal experts who now say that law may be unconstitutional and in and of itself could trigger a lengthy court battle. So imagine the possibilities: a special election, a court fight, a vacant Senate seat, questions about who really has the authority to fill it. This was like hypothetical, I guess, 2 years ago, but it's a very real question right now because it's increasingly seeming like Mitch McConnell cannot return. All we can do is speak statistically. If an forget about unconscious, okay? If an 84-year-old senator who is in precarious health, we know that because he was already hospitalized this year, he's fallen, he's frozen, all that stuff. If he is in the hospital for a month, statistically, how many 84-year-olds return to the demands equivalent to that of a U.S. senator after a month of hospitalization? It's an infinitesimal number. And so the silence around this is completely impossible to justify. Nobody is asking for his complete medical chart. We don't need every lab result. We don't need transcripts of conversations with physicians, and we don't even know if he's capable of having conversations. It's just a really simple question. Is he alive? Is he conscious? Is he capable of serving? Is it reasonable to expect that he's going to come back? What's the general nature of his condition? It's a United States senator. His vote could determine the outcome on foreign policy, domestic policy, all this stuff. I think Governor Beshear deserves credit because relatively few elected officials have been willing to do this. Where are the other senators? Where are the Democrats? Where are Republicans even on this? Every single other senator in that legislative body should be saying the same thing. And if the roles were reversed, if a Democratic senator disappeared into a hospital for almost a month with no substantive updates, and only all of a sudden after 24 days and some reporting that goes, this guy might be unconscious, a few Democrats came out and went, oh, I spoke to him for 20 minutes. Would anyone accept that? And would Republicans go, let's just wait, let's give him more time? Of course not. They would be demanding answers every single day. That's what needs to happen here. And this is really not about political party. This is really not about shaming people or salacious reporting about health or anything like that. This is one of 100 U.S. senators. So we deserve the answers. Andy Beshear is looking for the answers. We will see if he gets them. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.